All right, I'm on hole number 7 of the Easter Open tournament in Monday's qualifying round of the rookie division. Let's go to hole number 7. Check it out. All right. Now, I tried this with a quarterback. I like playing these holes with quarterbacks, but the quarterback doesn't have quite enough distance. You'll have to play to the open here. It's hard to get to bounce over. It's too risky because the way that plays, as you can tell, it gets farther the longer you go this way. So if you start out here and you miss to the left, you could actually clip that rough and just dribble out here. And we want to get as much distance as we can, but we definitely don't want to flirt with this rough out here. I want to be out in this area. And I ended up more in the middle with my QB, and so I'm going to use an extra mile, and I'm going to really try and get up a little bit higher so that I have a straighter in shot to the green. So I'm going to use an extra mile. If you've got really developed clubs, a maxed out rock is the way to play this hole, because it's in between the quarterback and the extra mile in distance, so it's exactly what you're looking for. And then my next club, you can use a Guardian or a Sniper on this. I like the backspin shot on this. This is a difficult hole to try and get an eagle on. And I'm going to use, I would really like to use a Katana here. So I guess I'm going to have to buy some. And select it. I really want that 3 side spin for the shot to the pin. All right. Hole number 7. Here we go. So the minimum score in this tournament, what you're looking for is minus 13 per side. So where you're looking for a minus 26 in the opening, and the weekend round is like the minimum score. That's the score that you should start with. That score right there is probably going to net you, a top 20. Just by getting the 26, just by going out there and not trying to stress the issue, not trying to force it, just going out there and just shooting the shots. But there's so few holes that have super legitimate chances to get in that we're going to have a little bit of luck in that weekend round in order to get a score higher than 26. And the way that this tournament plays or these holes play, a 26 is very doable. And I definitely want to be up high like this. So now it's just a question of how much topspin, backspin to put on or adjustment for the ball. So I'm going to put on 2 topspin, and see how close that gets me. So 4-5, this is 2-1 per ring, so it's just a titch over 2 rings. I'm not going to put it on any curl or do anything special. I'm just going to try and hit it perfect. And I hit it great to the right. The key here is whether the 2 topspin was right. And I will tell you right now that I'm going to lower that down. I'm going to change that on my notes. I'm going to put, this is a extra mile, a Katana, and no more than 1.5 topspin. Max left side spin. Just to try and get it up into that hole. And that right there, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people do that on this hole. This hole is super dangerous messing around with that area right there. The thing is, get above it. That's why we brought a backspin club. So we can get up here and we can do max backspin and as much side spin as we can get into it. And so what I'm looking for is I want my ball, I want the tip here to be even with that hole on the arc. And I want to give myself plenty of room over here. I'm 3 rings away, but I think that that's absolutely what this club can curl. So it's 1.4 per ring, so there's 4.2, and it's a little bit beyond that. And then I'm going to put maximum curl on it and bring it back to the hole. Hit perfect. And try and bring it back to the hole. There's, whenever you use curl, there is a huge variables there. You can go back from the hole. You can go back from where I was at, be further back and try and curl that in. But I'll tell you, I see more people do that shot where they're curling it in and they end up exactly where our opponent is, or they end up in that rough. You can do a rough bump here. That's another viable shot that you can do, but I'm not really interested in messing around with that hill. But that is a great way to try and get an eagle. That's probably the most legitimate way to try and get an eagle, because you're not having to apply any curl. Anytime you apply curl, your chances are pretty grim. I'm going to miss. So doing the rough bump here is definitely a viable shot. And some people are going to make that rough bump, and some people are going to miss-hit that rough bump because they made the wrong wind adjustment. And the ones that make it are definitely increasing their odds that they're going to get an eagle. All right, we will get another bogey. And I am pretty sure that I am not going to qualify now. Let's make sure. Yeah, we're in the zone, so we can play real competitive on these last two holes. All right, that was hole number 7 of the Easter Open tournament and Monday's qualifying round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.